Good day to everyone. Okay, so this time what we are going to have will be addition and subtraction of dissimilar fractions. So, last time, naituro ko na sa inyo kung paano mag-add and subtract ng similar fractions. Okay, so sa addition of similar fractions, we just copy the denominator and then perform the indicated operation on the numerators. Now, this time, medyo may twist ng konti, nosebleed ng konti kasi medyo a little bit complicated and difficult siya. Kailangan naiintindihan nyo yung concept about LCD or the least common denominator. Okay? So, but still, I encourage everyone to please stay tuned, keep on watching, and see ya on the next one. Here are the steps on how to add and subtract dissimilar fractions, okay? So, these steps are general. I-apply natin siya sa lahat even if we are going to use different methods. Step number 1, find the LCD or the least common denominator. Step number 2, divide the LCD to the denominators and multiply to the numerators. Okay, so medyo a little bit complicated siya. But anyways, I'll be presenting it through examples. Step number 3, proceed and simplify if necessary. Let's have example number 1. Find the sum of 4 out of 2 plus 2/3. To find the answer to this, I'll be presenting to you the method 1. Okay, so the first method. The first method is for you to, of course, let's show our solution. If I have 4 out of 2 plus 2/3, so step number 1 daw is to find the LCD. So the LCD, to find the LCD in method 1, what we're going to do is to simply multiply the denominators. 2 times 3. What is 2 times 3? That's right, that is 6. After getting the LCD, what you're going to do next is to proceed to step number 2. Divide the LCD to the denominators and then multiply it to the numerator. Nakuha nyo ba? Okay, so hindi lang syempre kay 2. Again, divide 6 to the denominator and multiply it to the numerator. So, magkakaroon tayo ng dalawa. Okay, so mag-solve tayo. Yung LCD natin na 6, i-times daw natin, divide daw natin kay 2. Anong sagot natin? Ito yun ha, ito yun. Okay? This one. May I use the green one? Okay, this one. Ito tayo. So, the answer is 3. Correct. And then, yung 3 mo na sagot, i-times mo daw yon kay 4. Times natin kay 4, so we are going to have, correct, 12. Okay? And then next, yung 6 mo naman ulit na LCD, i-times mo siya, i-divide mo siya kay 3 naman daw. So, nasan ba yan si 3? Eto, divide mo siya kay 3. 6 divided by 3, that is equal to what? That is equal to 2. Okay? So, 2. And then, yung sagot mo na 2, i-times mo yun doon sa taas, sa numerator mo. Times mo sa 2. So, that is equal to 4. Okay? Now, para saan tong 12 na to at para saan tong 4 na to? Yang dalawang yan will be equal to your new numerators. So, you're going to have 12 plus, since nagpa-plus tayo, di ba? 4 divided by your LCD. Yan. Ayan na. So, para ka na lang nag-add normal, proceed to step number 3, proceed and simplify as much as possible. So, this is equal to what? What is 12 plus 4? That is equal to 16 out of, you just copy the denominator, 6. Now, you will see here that you have already an answer and I am congratulating you kasi naintindihan mo yon. Now, however, this is not yet your final answer. As sabi natin, as much as possible, you have to get the lowest term of your answer. So, if you have 16 out of 6, what you're going to do is to get the lowest term. Okay? Depende yun sa inyo kung paano mo siya ilo-lowest term. Naituro ko na sa inyo yung kung paano mag-simplify or mag-lowest term. Now, I'm going to use the continuous one kasi doon ako mas palagay. Okay? So, 16 and 6 is divisible by 2. So, I'm going to have here 16 divided by 2 is 8. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay? Now, you have here 8 out of 3. If we are going to think of a number that is divisible to 8 and 3, kung i-check natin ng 2, hindi na pwede ang 2. Sa 8 lang siya pwede, sa 3 hindi pwede. If we're going to check on 3, hindi pwede ang 3 sa 8, pero pwede sa 3. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, our lowest term of 16 out of 6 is equal to just simply 8 out of 3. Okay? Is that your final answer? Yes, that is your final answer. For example number 2, find the sum of 3 out of 4 plus 1 out of 8. Okay, so now we're going to have method 2. For method 2, same general steps lang ha. Okay, may I copy the problem again? So we have 3 out of 4 plus 1 out of 8. To find the answer to this, by applying method number 2, same general step. Number 1, get the LCD. Okay, for step number 1, get the LCD. Lagyan natin ng number, okay? In getting the LCD for method number 2, which I am going to present to you, is just simply to get the multiples of 4 and 8. Yung least common multiple, that is already the LCD, okay? So, let's have 4 and 8. Ano ba ang multiples ng 4? When we get the multiples, what we need to do is just to simply multiply it by 1, multiply by 2, by 3, by 4. Okay, so 4 times 1, that is equal to 4, comma, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16. Now, so on and so forth, okay? Pwede pa natin kasi yan maituloy. Now, for 8, the multiples of 8 is 8 times 1, so we're going to have 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. So on and so forth. Now, you will see here na merong common na multiple kay 4 at saka kay 8. Ano yung number na yon na nakita mong parehas meron si 4 at saka kay 8? Okay? That's right. Yung 16. Yang 16 ngayon na yan ang LCD natin. Okay? So, that is your LCD, which is equal to 16. Now, if you already find the LCD, proceed to step number 2. For step number 2, ay, ano daw ang gagawin natin? I-divide daw natin yung 16 doon sa 4. Tapos, pag nakuha natin yung sagot, i-times natin doon sa 3. Okay? Yun yung ilalagay natin dito. Lagyan natin ng box. And then, copy plus. Next, yung 16 natin na LCD, i-divide mo kay 8. And then, pag nakuha mo yung sagot, i-times natin doon kay 1. Yun naman yung ilalagay natin dito. And then, after that, ayan na. Okay? So, ang isusulat natin sa denominator dito, sa ilalim nito, will be, syempre, yung LCD natin, which is 16. Okay? And then, ayan na, hanapin na natin yung nasa numerators. Okay? Ano yung ilalagay natin doon? Ano yung sabi ko sa step number 2? For step number 2, ang sabi natin ay, yung 16 daw natin na LCD, i-divide mo kay 4. Okay? 16 divided by 4. Ano bang sagot natin? 4. Correct. Okay? So, 4. And then, i-times daw natin yun kay 3. So, i-times natin kay 3. The answer is equal to 12. Yun ngayon yung ilalagay natin dito. Okay, next. Ganun ulit. Yung 16 naman natin, i-divide down natin doon naman sa isang denominator, which is 8. Ano bang sagot natin doon? Correct. Ang sagot natin doon ay 2. And then, i-times mo naman siya ngayon kay 1. 2 times 1, that is equal to 2. So, yun naman yung ilalagay natin dito. And then, after that, this will be equal to, oh, what is 12 plus 2? That is 14 out of 16. Is that already your final answer? No, not yet. You see, you have here 14 and 16. And you know pretty well that 14 is divisible by 2 and 16 is divisible by 2 also. So let's apply the continuous method in finding the lowest term. So 14 and 16. Continuous method, divide by 2. 14 divided by 2, this is equal to 7. 16 divided by 2, this is equal to 8. So therefore, 14 out of 16 is equal to, in the lowest term, 7 out of 8. Okay, is that your final answer? Yes, that's your final answer. Let's have the third example. Find the sum of 5 out of 12 plus 7 out of 8 by method number 3. So I already presented to you method 1, method 2, and method 3. Now, it's up to you which one you are very comfortable or which one is very convenient for you to use in order for you to find the answer to the problem that I'll be giving you. Okay, so for problem number 3, I have here 5 out of 12 plus 7 out of 8. How do we find the answer to this? Sa method number 3, same step pa rin ha. Step number 1, find the LCD. Step number 2, divide the LCD to the denominators and multiply to the numerators. And then step number 3, proceed and simplify your final answer. Same method pa rin naman. However, in method number 3, in order for us to find the LCD, gagamitan natin siya ng continuous division. Okay? So, ang aking favorite na continuous division. We have 12 and 8. Okay? So, by continuous division, if I have 12 and 8, how do we find the LCD? Simple lang naman. Think of a number that is divisible both to 12 and 8. Yun yung ilalagay natin dito sa labas. Anong number yon? Correct. That is 2. What is 12 divided by 2? The answer is 6. Comma, and then 8 divided by 2. Correct. The answer is 4. Now, you will see here that hindi ka patapos kasi 6 and 4 is still divisible by 2. So, mag-divide pa tayo. 6 divided by 2 is equal to what? 3. Okay? And then, comma, 4 divided by 2 is equal to what? Correct. 2. Now, you will see here na parang yung step na ginamit ko dito ay tulad lang ng pag naglo-lowest term, di ba? Yung nasa ilalim, yun. Okay? But hindi yun. How do we find the LCD? To find the LCD, Asan ba dyan ang LCD natin? Ang LCD natin dyan ay yung mga numbers na yan na nasa labas, ipag-times lang natin. So, ipag-times lang natin yun lahat, okay? So, 2 times 2, okay? Times 3, times 2. Kung ano yung lumabas dyan, that will be your LCD. What is 2 times 2? 4 times 3, 12 times 2, that is equal to 24. Therefore, ang LCD natin ay 24. Okay? Then, after that, same step ulit. Proceed to step number 2. For step number 2, ano ang sabi? Siyempre, kung ano yung LCD natin dito, yun yung ilalagay natin dun sa denominator, ha? Don't forget that, okay? Yung 24 natin na LCD, i-divide lang daw natin yon sa dito sa 12, okay? Ayan, dyan sa 12 natin. And then, ano ba sagot natin? Correct, that is 2. Tapos, pag nakuha mo yung sagot, i-times mo siya doon sa 5. 2 times 5, that is equal to, correct, 10. So, ibig sabihin, ang ilalagay natin doon sa taas ay 10. Okay? Then next, proceed ka na. Yung 24 ulit na LCD mo, i-divide mo siya. Siyempre, hindi lang pwede kay 12, kay 8 din. Okay? So, 24 divided by 8 is equal to what? 3. Correct. So, 3. And then, yung sagot mo, i-times mo doon sa numerator times 7. So, you're going to have 21. Correct. Okay? So, 21. And then, kung ano yung operation, just copy it. Then, solve na. Okay? So, we are going to have what? What is 10 plus 21? That is equal to 31 out of 24. Okay? Now, try to look at your answer. Okay? Try to look at your answer. Do you think is it already your final answer? Check natin. Pwede bang makapag-divide sa 31 at 24 ng 2? Hindi pwede. Pwede ba kayang makapag-divide sa 31 at 24 ng 3? Hindi rin pwede. Pwede ba kayang makapag-divide sa 31 at 24 ng 4? Hindi rin pwede. How about 5? Hindi pwede. How about 6? Hindi pwede. How about 7? Hindi pwede. Wala na tayong number na pwedeng ma-divide or divisible sa 31 and 24. Therefore, this is already your final answer. Let's have example number 4. Find the difference of 4 out of 3 minus 2 out of 6. Okay, so class, it's up to you kung ano yung method na gusto nyo gamitin. But, there is an exception. Yung method number 1, hindi siya laging applicable. Bakit? Kasi kung laging yun ang gagamitin mo, masyadong malaki yung magiging answer mo at matatagalan ka pa bago mag lowest term. Hindi siya laging applicable. Applicable lang yon kung magkasunod yung nasa denominator mo. Let's say, 2 and 3, yung mga ganun lang ba, applicable yon. Pero kung katulad nito na 3, yung ating denominators, and 6, they are dissimilar, okay, medyo matatagalan kayo sa paghahanap ng final answer kasi medyo hahaba yung pag-lowest term mo or yung pag-simplify mo. Now, the best way is to choose between method 2 and method number 3. Okay, but for me, I'm really very used to using the method number 3. Okay, so try natin yung method number 3. What is the difference? So, this time, you are asked to find the difference. Ibig sabihin, magsa-subtract tayo. If I have 4 out of 3 minus 2 out of 6, what we do is, again, step number 1, find the LCD. To find the LCD, what we're going to do is to use the continuous division method. So, we are going to have 3 and 6. And then, magdi-divide tayo ngayon. What is that number that you think divisible 2, 3, and 6? Anong number yon? Siyempre, hindi pwede ang 2. Okay? Correct. That is 3. Okay? And then, tuloy na tayo. 3 divided by 3, that is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay? And then, yung lahat ng nasa labas na yan, okay, i-multiply lang daw natin yan lahat. 3 times 1 times 2. That will be your LCD. 3 times 1 is 3 times 2. That is 6. Therefore, your LCD is 6. Yun yung ilalagay natin ngayon sa denominator. Okay? And then, proceed to step number 2. Anong sabi sa step number 2? For step number 2, what we're going to do is, yung LCD daw natin na 6, i-divide lang daw natin, i-divide daw natin doon sa 3, okay, this one, and then, anong sagot natin? 2. And then, i-times natin doon sa 4. Okay? So, times 4, this is equal to 8. Yan ngayon yung ilalagay natin dito sa taas. Then, copy the operation minus. Next, hindi ka pa tapos. Yung 6 ulit, which is your LCD, i-divide naman natin doon sa isang denominator na 6. 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. And then, i-times down natin doon sa numerator. So, times 2, this is equal to 2. Yan ngayon yung ilalagay natin dito. And then, ayan, mag-solve ka na. What is 8 minus 2? 8 minus 2 is equal to 6 out of 6. You will see here that you have 6 out of 6. What is the final answer? 6 out of 6 means 6 divided by 6. Both are divisible by 6. So, kung gagamit ka pa ng continuous method, kita mo naman na parehas yan 6. So, mag-divide ka lang by 6. This is 1 out of 1. Eh, alangan naman magsulat ka pa dyan ng 1 out of 1. Hindi ka na dyan magsusulat syempre ng 1 out of 1 because 1 out of 1 or 6 divided by 6 is just simply equal to 1. And that is your final answer. Let's have example number 5. Find the difference of 5 out of 4 minus 1 out of 6. Okay, so this will be the last example, I think. I hope so. So we have a 5 out of 4 minus 1 out of 6. Step number 1 again. What do? Find the LCD. Okay, to find the LCD, it's up to you which method you like, but again, I have to remind you that the method number 1 is not usually, it has an exception kasi medyo, kapag kayo nang ginamit mo, medyo magtatagal ka, okay? So maybe I have to explain it in another example. To find the LCD by division, continuous division, I'll have 4 and 6. So 4 and 6. What is that number that is divisible to both 4 and 6? Okay, that is 2. So 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. And then 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. And then, yung mga nasa labas na yan, na mga numbers, ipag-times lang daw natin yan lahat. That'll be your LCD. Okay? So, 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. So, this is your LCD. At syempre, yan yung magiging denominator natin. Okay? Kaya nga siya tinawag na least common denominator. Then, after that, proceed to step number 2. Ano bang sabi sa step number 2? For step number 2, kung ano yung LCD mo daw, i-divide mo lang daw yon doon sa denominators mo. So, let's have the first denominator, which is 4. 12 divided by 4, that is 3. And then, i-times mo yon dito sa 5. So, 3 times 5, this is equal to, correct, 15. Yang 15 yan ngayon, ilalagay mo siya dito sa taas as your new numerator. Then, yung isa namang denominator, okay, 12 divided by 6, this one, this is equal to 2. And then, i-times mo naman siya ngayon doon sa numerator, times 1, this is equal to 2. Yang 2 ngayon, ang ilalagay mo ngayon dito sa taas, and then perform the indicated operation, subtract. This will be equal to what? 15 minus 2? That is 13. Okay, so 13 out of 12. Now, question, is this already your final answer? Yes, that is already your final answer. One tip for you to be able to know that your answer is already final, if nakita nyo magkasunod yung digits, like 13 and 12. Okay, yung number magkasunod. That is already final. Wala ka na talagang number na pwedeng maisip na divisible both to 13 and 12. Okay, so let us have the last example. For the last example, find the difference of 5 out of 10 minus 1 out of 5. So, in this case, kung meron tayong 5 out of 10 minus 1 out of 5 at kung gagamitin natin yung method number 1, di ba ang sabi dun sa method number 1 ay, actually, ito talaga yung pinaka-shortcut. Pero, sa method 1 lang to ha, method 1. I-times mo tong dalawang to, that'll be your new LCD. Okay, so your LCD will be 10 times 5, that is equal to 50. Kaya lang, ito nga yung sinasabi ko na hindi talaga siya pwede kasi masyadong malaki na yung LCD mo, 50. For sure, mahabang pagsisimplify ito. And then, ito yung magiging panibagong numerators mo sa taas. Okay, ito yon. Take a look at this. Yung 5 dito, i-times mo siya doon sa numerator. Yun yung shortcut nun, ha? Okay, so 5 times 5, that is equal to 25. Yung isang numerator yon. Ano naman yung isang numerator? Yung isang numerator ay, etong 10 na to, i-times mo siya doon sa 1. So, you'll have 10 times 1. So, is equal to 10. Okay? Now, if we are going to write our fractions, we're going to have what? We're going to have 25. Okay? Ito yon. Plus, sorry, not plus, kasi nagma-minus pala tayo. Okay? Minus 10. Okay? Ito yon. Out of your LCD, which is 50. Okay? This is equal to what? 25 minus 10 is equal to 15 out of 50. Okay? Now, you will see here na medyo malaki yung number mo, yung fraction mo. Kaya sinasabi ko, hindi siya lagi talagang applicable. The best na gamitin yung method 1 kung magkasunod na digit yung denominators. Okay? So, ang 15 and out of 50 mo can still be simplified by how? Okay? Siyempre, gamit ka ulit ng continuous division. If you have 15 and 50, 15 and 50 is divisible by what number? Correct, 5. And then 15 divided by 5 is 3. 50 divided by 5 is 10. Okay, so in here, you gradually arrive at an answer of 3 out of 10. So, hindi ka masyadong nag-simplify. Nagkataon na hindi ka masyadong naghanap ng lowest term ng medyo mahaba-haba. Kasi minsan, nag-divide pa kayo, tuloy-tuloy talaga yan, mahaba hanggang sa mag-arrive ka sa pinaka lowest term. Okay? Is this your final answer? Yes. Okay? Yan yung isang technique. Kung sa palagay nyo ay nakatulong tong technique na to, then, well, you may use this one. It's up to you naman. I hope you learned a lot in this lesson. Let's proceed to multiplication and division of fractions. See you in the next one.